Hello everybody and welcome back to Matterley Basin, the opening round of the 2022 FIM Motocross World Championship. This is the MXGP of Great Britain, and this Matterley Basin racetrack in fine fettle. It's in absolutely perfect condition. The machines have been out, they've worked on the track, taken out some of the ruts and holes, because this late in the afternoon, riders are going to be struggling to see the lines on the track as the sun starts to set. Of course, we are still in winter time zones here, and riding an hour earlier than we normally would when the clocks go forward. So the racetrack here going to cause one or two issues visibility-wise, possibly. Maybe not so much for the MX2 riders, but certainly later on for MXGP Race 2. Either way, the racetrack here, just over 2,000 metres long, a challenging racetrack, physically demanding, mentally so as well. The riders are on their sighting lap as we speak, and they are getting ready, just as we are, and just as they are. But a good crowd in today, despite the 1 week delay to the race schedule. And so far, they've been treated to some fantastic racing on both days. We had 125 European Championship action yesterday, as well as European Open. We had their second races today, and obviously all MX2 and MXGP since lunchtime. But let's take a look at what happened in MX2 Race 1 a little earlier, shall we? The first race of the year for all the MX2 riders then, and it was Simon Langenfelder who won the qualifying race, and he grabbed the first foxhole shot of the campaign on the 516 Red Bull Gas. Alongside him, Tom Vialle, Kai de Wolf, Kevin Horgmo to the outside, Rowan van der Moosdijk in the middle there as well, and Isaac Gifting was in there, and so too Rabini, number 38. But it wasn't long before positions were changing. Kevin Horgmo nipped up the inside of Kai de Wolf to move into third place. And then Jago Kietz also found his way past Kai de Wolf to move into fourth. But then he lost the front end around about now, just got held up actually, grabbed the sort of casings. That tipped him down the order to ninth place, would eventually get back to fourth. But then Horgmo, he ran into trouble. He was in third place. He had a slight moment with the engine, or rider error. He dropped down as far as 7th place after falling again, and that's where he would finish. Mikkel Hara eventually came home in 8th despite charging towards the front, and Guadagnini was just having one of those days. He eventually came home in 13th on his Red Bull Gas. Last lap, 5-6 corners to go. Jago Kietz charged past Stefan Rabini to move into 4th position, but he was no match for Simon Langenfelder. Nobody was, as he cruised to take his first race win in MX2 in his career, not just this season. Tom Vialle was second and Kai de Wolf was third. Anyway, earlier on in the start of the day, we had this little tribute. By now, of course, you know that René Hoffer, the Red Bull KTM factory rider, sadly lost his life in a skiing accident at the end of last year, and the MXGP community came together to say their farewell. And forever in our hearts, René Hoffer, you will always be missed. A tough winter for the Red Bull KTM team and those who were close to him. A few moments ago, Lisa was down on the grid. She caught up with Stefan Rabini, and before that, Kevin Horgmo.
Okay, I'm just on the start grid of the second MX2 race of the day. Now, I want to catch up with a couple of guys about that first race. The first being F&H Kawasaki's Kevin Horgmo. Kevin, just talk about that first race, really. You look really strong, but it did look like something happened in the closing stages of that race. What was going on?
Yeah, I had a not so good start actually, but came around the turn quite good, and just felt comfortable on the bike, and felt really strong, but unfortunately I made 2 big mistakes, so dropped from 3rd to 7th, but yeah, the feeling is really good.
I mean, apart from those mistakes, is it fair to say that you are a lot more prepared coming into the MX2 class this year round?
Yeah, sure. Working with Mark has been really good, like mentally to get prepared for the MX2, and also with the team we have made some really good steps, so it's a good group of people working together, and yeah, I want to give a big thanks to all of those guys. Feeling settled in the team? Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay, best of luck. Thanks, Kevin. Let's grab a few words now with Stefan Rubini. Again, talking about qualifying and that first race, Stefan. You looked like you were progressing yesterday, and you looked really solid in that first race. You finished inside the top 5. How was it from your seat?
Yeah, well, was pretty good. I got a good start. Yesterday, the qualifying day was a good day because we progressed all day long, and we came out this morning comfy, more comfortable on the bike, and I could enjoy the track. So with a good start, I could manage a good race, so I will try to do the same in second race.
And just tell us why the change of number. You've gone from 118 to 38. Are you superstitious? What's the deal there?
No, nothing at all. It's just I wanted to change. It's a brand new team for me. So it's my last year also in MX2, and I just wanted to change. And I feel actually quite good with this number, so
yeah.
I will try to make it shine all the season long.
Best of luck.
Thanks,
Stefan. Good luck to all the guys here. It's time for MX2 Race 2.
So Lisa doing her fine work down on the grid, as always. Good to hear from Stefan Rubini, the Ship to Cycle Honda Moto Blues rider. Changing his number, of course, for this year, but also Kevin Horgmo, who was running up at the sharp end in 3rd place. Despite 1 or 2 issues, he was still very pleased with 7th. He said the feeling is good. And, yep, you can see down there the images from upstairs in pit lane. Mechanics will be downstairs, and obviously you've got the skybox there, which is where the VIP Gold occupants will watch the race from. They get to see the podium as well. Here's how the riders line up for race 2. Same as race 1, as they finished in the qualifying race yesterday. Simon Langenfelder so far having a fantastic weekend. He won the qualifying race. He goes to the line on pole for the first time in his career. He came away with his first ever race win today as well. And he'll be looking to do the same. Even if he doesn't win the Grand Prix, he'll be looking at the very least to get on the podium in some way, shape or form. But the way that he rode in race 1, it would be a brave person to bet against him. Coming away with a good start and doing exactly what he did. And there he is, the 516, your winner from race 1, Simon Langenfelder, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing. What a start to the year. Number 80, Andrea Adamo, the SM Action Racing Team USA Battery Gas rider. Another solid performance for him, coming home in 9th place. He was up to 8th, but had a bit of a tussle with Mikkel Harp the last 3 or 4 laps. Those two changing places, Harp getting the better of the Italian. Tom Vialle, a steady ride, coming home in 2nd place for Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. And then there's 74 of Kai de Wolf in 3rd. He started in 3rd, he got past, well, yeah, he did, didn't he? He went down to 5th place because Horgmo and Jago Kietz came by. But then he was able to nurse his Mustang Husqvarna factory machine home for 3rd place. There's Jago Kietz. Good strong end to the race, where the last 3 laps he went from 6th to 4th, picking off Van der Moosdijk and Rubini. Speaking of which, there is Rowan van der Moosdijk, a steady race. Started 7th, dropped down to 8th or 9th, and then got himself up as high as 5th before dropping back down to 6th as Jago Kietz came through. And Conrad Muse, the Stebbings Car Superstore KTM UK rider, powered by Bike Shore. Home Grand Prix for him. 11th in race 1, he'll be looking to do better than that in race 2. He was just on the microphone talking before he went out on the sighting lap. And he said he could hear the crowd, so he wants them to make some more noise. But anyway, the Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time this weekend. This opening round for the MX2 riders. MX2 Race 2, 30 minutes plus 2 laps, is about to get underway. Who will it be that grabs that all-important foxhole shot? Langenfelder gets another good jump. It was he who grabbed the foxhole shot in race 1, and it looks like he's going to be assured of doing the same thing in race 2. Can he hold the nice tight line? Yes, he can. Langenfelder 2 for 2. Vialle right behind him. Jago Kietz, Horgmo, the 2 Husqvarnas once again of de Wolf and Van der Moosdijk. Vialle 2nd. Can Kietz get into 3rd? Well, there's a bit of bar banging with him and the 517 of Isaac Gifting. So a good start for Gifting. That's him in the black body with the sort of pale green sleeves, if you like. But Kevin Horgmo, Jago Kietz and Rowan van der Moosdijk, 3rd, 4th and 5th as they charge down the hill here on this opening lap. What a fantastic start again for Kevin Horgmo on the F&H Kawasaki. Oh, Van der Moosdijk almost losing the front end through there. The ground a little bit loose where they've made some changes to the track, where they've moved dirt around, taken out some of the ruts. That was probably what happened to Van der Moosdijk there. But up over the quad for the first time. Horgmo on the F&H Kawasaki, still hanging on to that third place. Number 24, the Norwegian. But Jago Geerts trying to find his way around the outside. The Norwegian having none of it, though. Vialle slips up as well, handing a bit more of an advantage to Langenfelder. And confirmation that he was the Foxhole shot winner. Furthest point away from the start line area at this vast Matterley Basin racetrack. Geerts surfed his way through that turn a little bit. That's cost him some time. Van der Moosdijk trying to have a look through, but nowhere near. So up and over the tabletop before they work their way up to the finish line. Langenfelder leads Vialle. Horgmo there on the Kawasaki in third. The yellow fluorescent green arms of Jago Geerts in fourth. Then the first of the white Nestaan Husqvarna's Rowan Van der Moosdijk. He is in fifth place. Sixth, Isaac Gifting as they come out of that final turn. We'll get him over the line this time around, though. So Langenfelder, Vialle, Horgmo, Geerts, Van der Moosdijk, Gifting, Rubini 7, Facchetti 8, De Wolf losing positions on the opening lap. He is now in ninth place. Then Pollock 10, Harp 11, Adamo 12. As Geerts tries to go around the outside of Horgmo, who's making himself very wide. Are we going to see a pass at the end of the straight, though, top of the hill? Yes, we are. Geerts gets to the inside, finally picks off Horgmo, who responds immediately and regains that third place. Just behind them, Isaac Gifting, Rubini, Facchetti. Good start for the Italian. The number 22 on the Bedini MX2 KTM. Long jump uphill, almost riding on the back of the Kawasaki there, Jago Geerts. And whilst these two battle up front, Langenfelder and Vialle, Horgmo responding to the pressure from Jago Geerts with the fastest sector one of the lap. Vialle having a sneaky look down the inside of Langenfelder. And he gets alongside the German, and he's going to find his way past as well. Finally, Tom Vialle comes alive. He makes a mistake on the exit of the turn, though. Still has some work to do. Now, it'll be interesting to see the response from Langenfelder. It's the first time he's been led all weekend long. And this would be for the overall Grand Prix as well. I know we've still got about 26 minutes plus 2 laps to go in this second MX2 race. But first and second, Langenfelder, Vialle. If those positions are reversed, as they are now, then it'll be Vialle that stands on the top step of the podium here in Great Britain. But he's struck early. He wasn't able to do that in race 1, Tom Vialle. Yeah, just legging his way through there, look, at the end of the straight, Langenfelder. And then just wrong choice of line, left the door wide open for Vialle to get through, and he did. No second invites for the Frenchman. And ran him wide as well on the exit of the turn, look. Lulled him into a false sense of security, Tom Vialle. So Vialle, fastest rider on track then, a 2:25.05, only 3 tenths in it, but 1.3 tenths in it between him and Langenfelder on that opening lap. And a good response again from Kevin Horgmo, going after Langenfelder now. Going to drag 93 with him. There's your first 4. Vialle, Langenfelder, Horgmo, and Jago Geerts, 4th in the race at the moment. Rowan Van der Moosdijk just losing touch there at the top of the screen in white on the Nestaan factory Husqvarna. Gifting 6th. Hitachi KTM fueled by Milwaukee. Then 7th we've got DeWolf. Rubini in 8th on the ship-to-shore Honda Motor Blues machine. 9th, Facchetti and Harrop 10th. And DeWolf actually on the charge as well, because he was 9th on the opening lap, wasn't he? So he has found his way past the Italian and the Frenchman. Back with the leaders. Vialle just stretching his lead out ever so slightly now over Langenfelder. As Van der Moosdijk going after Geerts. Top of the hill. He's reeled in the Belgian. And getting ready to launch an attack here. Just lighting up the back end as he looked to change lines at the top of the hill. Van der Moosdijk in white, number 39. They know that towards the end of the race, the sun is definitely going to be playing a major factor in visibility. So if you can make passes early on and therefore minimize the risk later on in the race, where you can't see as clearly, let's say. So I wonder if that's what Vialle was thinking, that he had to strike early, knowing that Langenfelder was a threat in the first race with that win. Didn't want to give him the same opportunity, the same kind of confidence boost, if you like. Dropping into turn 4, Langenfelder. You can see Vialle already starting to climb up the valley in the opposite direction. Around about 2 seconds, that gap between first and second. Horgmo looking solid in 3rd place for F&H Kawasaki. So Vialle pulling clear. Langenfelder 2nd, Horgmo 3rd, Geerts 4th, Van der Moosdijk 5th, Gifting in 6th position. 7th for DeWolf, 8th Rubini, Harrop 9, Adamo 10, Facchetti dropping down the leaderboard now in 11th place. Guadagnini 12th, bad day for him. And I was talking to somebody in the paddock briefly during the break, and I asked the question, you know, what do you think is the situation with Guadagnini? And they said, well, quite possibly the fact that he's got a new teammate coming in, and where he was the number 1 MX2, the only MX2 rider in the team last year, maybe just having his feathers ruffled a little bit, and that might be all it is, you know, maybe just putting himself under a little bit too much pressure. So it'll be interesting to see how he pulls himself out of this hole, not just here, but in Mantova at his home round next week. Geerts getting closer to Horgmo. He's had a couple of laps sitting behind the Norwegian on that Kawasaki. But as we've seen, he's got close, but not been able to execute a pass because Horgmo just making himself fairly wide. Gap was 2 seconds last time around between first and second, 2.032 in fact, with Vialle setting the fastest lap of the race. Let's see what it is this time around. Are we 1 point anything or not? 3 laps complete, and it's 1.5, and all of a sudden the fastest lap for Langenfelder. He's going back after Vialle. Top of the hill, Harrop looking to find his way past Rubini, but the Frenchman keeping him back there in 9th place. Slight bobble there for Langenfelder though. Front started to lose traction. Did well to keep it up on 2 wheels. And I think Langenfelder believes he can win this one, you know. His victory in race 1, the first German since Kenny Roczen in 2011, which incidentally was here at this very racetrack. Here's Kai de Wolf. Down the inside of Gifting. Nudges him aside. And Kai de Wolf now up into 6th place. I'm impressed with Horgmo. If we were giving out Rider of the Day awards, it would be a close call between Langenfelder and Horgmo. Langenfelder, because he was victorious in race 1, still has a shot at winning the overall Grand Prix, but also Horgmo just very, very solid. A couple of mistakes in race 1, but showing that it was no fluke in that first one. Van der Moosdijk just losing touch with these two now as he settles into that 5th position. Wheeling those holes on the exit there, the number 93 Yamaha of Jago Geerts as he launches back downhill again, and Vialle has thrown away the lead. All of a sudden, Langenfelder leads again. And he got up very, very quick. Not sure what happened to him, whether he just spun out and whatever, but he's now put himself under immense pressure. So Langenfelder leads on lap 4, and Horgmo makes a mistake. Geerts is going to be bar to bar, side by side, and he goes past the Norwegian and into 3rd place. So drama then at the end of lap 4 and the start of lap 5. Horgmo trying to get on the gas early, looking for a way up the inside of the Belgian. Drag race down past pit lane between the two of them. Will he go wide and cut back to the inside here? There was a nice sweet line yesterday. Well, he tried, he thought about it. And all of a sudden, Van der Moosdijk back on the attack as he closes in, this time on the 24 of Horgmo. His teammate behind him, what, 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds? Be interesting to see how that one plays out, because there is Kai de Wolf, bottom of the hill. 2:24.4, similar lap time, but now that he's got clear track ahead of him and not having to worry about chasing down Isaac Gifting, Kai de Wolf could possibly be joining this group very, very soon. Van der Moosdijk is getting closer. Oh, Horgmo over the bars. Exactly the same place as Mattis Borromée did last year when he was in a position to take the red plate in MX2 here last year. On the same team. Over the bars and back to front, and he picks himself up though and rejoins the race. But a hard knock for the 24. Just folded the front, just goes to show how tricky the racetrack is. They were the ruts that he crashed out of in the background there. Just a whole load of tram line ruts, if you like. But Vialle responding after his mistake a lap ago, where he lost the lead at the bottom of the hill. And this is what happened. Oh, he just jumped out of the rut, threw it down, picked himself up, kept hold of the handlebars, pulled the clutch in, and then that was Horgmo making the mistake that allowed Geerts into 3rd. And then shortly after that, Horgmo then made his mistake, falling from 4th place. Horgmo now in 11th place. Vialle responding with the fastest lap of the race by 2/10 over Langenfelder. Langenfelder knows he has to stay there if he wants to win the Grand Prix. Vialle also knows if he's to win the Grand Prix, he has to find his way back past the German. Jago Geerts needs to stay where he is if he's to finish on the podium in 3rd place. We will go from the hard-packed hillside circuit here in Matterley to the sand of Mantova. Weather conditions there not so favourable either, in terms of they are equally as cold at the moment down there, just south of Verona. So it's going to be another chilly one. Langenfelder has been cool, calm and collected all weekend long. Possibly the mistake of Vialle, just trying to be too much in a hurry to break free. Here's Horgmo, a lap ago, that's where he fell. And here's how he did it. Back end came around. That was the one where Jago Kietz found his way past. And then just folded the front right at the end. Picked himself up, but he's now in 11th place. And struggling with that corner again. Oh, it's this one this time around, isn't it? The long right into the left. Meanwhile, it's not 1.6 seconds anymore, is it, between Langenfelder and Vialle? It's more like 7/10. Just over a second then. Oh, and Jago Kietz responds with the fastest lap of the race as he closes in on both Langenfelder and Vialle. And there is the Monster Energy Yamaha race. Has Langenfelder got the fitness to do the distance here in the way that he's riding? Alien territory for him. You would have thought yesterday, yep, that qualifying race, just 25 minutes, 20 plus 2, to win race 1. Obviously, he's been working hard. His fitness is good. He's with a very well-established team, the Ducati side of the Red Bull garage, if you like. This year now, gas mounted. A lot of experience, and they've been working him hard, training, testing, riding. Probably more so than he's ever had to get used to before. So far it's paying off, but Vialle having to dig extra deep here just to go after the young German. Again, sector 1, 36.7, 36.9, but I think sector 2, Vialle is going to be quicker, and he is. 34.7 compared to a 35.3. Can't afford to leave the door too wide there, though. Because as we've seen, Vialle will try to make a move at the end of this corner. Sun really now starting to blind the riders. They head towards that jump up on the top part of the circuit before working their way back down towards the gully down below in that bottom right-hander. Look at Kietz, closing. Is this going to be another fastest lap of the race for the Monster Energy Yamaha rider? He's hoping that Langenfelder just holds Vialle up just that little bit more for him to get within touching distance. 11 minutes plus 2 laps to go. A full second pull back in sector 3 alone for the Belgian over these two. 7 laps complete. 24.7 for Langenfelder, 24.6, and then a 23.8 for the hard charger in 3rd place there. Keep focus and believe the message from KTM, quick pass. Meanwhile, Roman and Mostek, Kai de Wolf, they are 4th and 5th. They're about 6 seconds apart at the moment. Gifting is 6th, Harup 7, Adamo 8, Rubini and Guadagnini rounding out the top 10. Horgmo in 11th position now, Facchetti 12, Muse 13, 14 for K Carsmakers. Jeremy Sido is 15, Jan Panzer 16, Noah Ludwig, Håkan Fredriksson, Kevin Bruman and Peter Pollock. Working extra hard. Langenfelder just to stay ahead of Vialle. That's 2 laps in a row now. He's drifted over to the left side, coming in to land on that tabletop. He's got a flapping tear off hanging off the right side of his goggle there, hasn't he, Vialle? Possibly as a result of his mistake. And look, tries to get out of the line. He beelined for the 5.16. Desperate to find a way through. He knows he's being caught as well by Kietz. Trying something different now. Going a little bit wider, hoping the ruts out there aren't so deep. But despite how quick it looked, he did have to go about 20 miles out of his way just to get back on track. And that's allowed Geertz to close back in on him as well.
Yeah, this is absolutely a
so 8.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. MX2 Race 2. This will decide the outcome of the overall Grand Prix. Certainly between the top two. Langenfelder, a winner in race 1 for the first time, would love to go 1-1. Tom Vialle, meanwhile, though, would love nothing more than to claim his 15th Grand Prix victory. Nervous look over the shoulder. He thought maybe he drifted just a little bit too far offline, burying the wheels in that dirt around the outside as he goes in pursuit of the German Langenfelder. The Red Bull Gas. Simon Langenfelder continues to lead with just under 8 minutes to go. We're on lap 9. And Vialle getting impatient. Difficult to see the lines. Oh, and again the back end stepping out on the rear of the Frenchman's KTM. The body language, all urgent, isn't it? There you go. That was the moment that Vialle lost the rear end. But there's definitely an urgency about Tom Vialle as he continues to push and harass Simon Langenfelder. Again, he's liking that inside, creating something from nothing. Tom Vialle. And his corner speed through there, lightning fast. Will he go outside? No, he cuts back to the inside this time around. Realised that last time it didn't work out. You don't realise how much the ground falls away through that long right-hander. These guys are around about 4 seconds clear of Van der Moosdijk. Kai de Wolf another 6 seconds, 5 seconds further back. Good performance from Gifting this time around. After finishing 14th in race 1, currently in 6th. And Rubini was, well, actually Rubini, he was 9th. He's now in 11th place, so maybe just running out of energy in the latter stage of this second race. Again, Vialle just a little too deep into the turn there. Less than 3 seconds between the first 3 riders. Nothing in it, really, between them. Langenfelder, Vialle, Geertz, as they head uphill through that wave section, up onto the plateau for plunging back downhill again. Just as you think about getting on the gas, you've got that crest halfway down the hill, upsets the balance of the bike, then you lift off slightly into more braking bumps. So there's a lot going on. The hill's steeper than it looks as well. Upper body and suspension working overtime on that part of the racetrack. But immaculate display this from Langenfelder at the moment, who's managing a 1.2 second advantage over Tom Vialle. Again, going high and wide. Look at the corner speed there from Vialle. Gets in, locks in, unleashes the power at the rear wheel. Further back, Gifting and Harrop. This is 6th and 7th. And just behind them, Andrea Adamo, number 80 in white. And then Guadagnini in 9th place. So Mikkel Harup on the Big Van World MTX Kawasaki. What can you do about gifting? How were the lap times last time around between these guys? About 9/10 quicker. Harup was over gifting last time around. So edging closer to a top 6. A second now between Langenfelder and Vialle. 2.5 seconds between the top 3. Geertz gaining about 3 or 4 tenths. A nervous look over the shoulder, or was it just to avoid roost off the rear wheel of the gas? Good effort. Oh, he just came to a momentary halt there, did Langenfelder. That's going to put him under pressure. Vialle will seize an opportunity now. 3 minutes to go. And Langenfelder will know he made that little bobble as well. He lost probably a good half a second, 3/4 of a second. And Vialle will not need a second invite. And you know where he's going to make the move, don't you? Langenfelder is going to leave the door wide open in that tight left, jumping into the wave section, just to their right. And Vialle is going to march on through. He knows he's got to be close enough. Langenfelder, he can't afford to go wide. That's exactly what he does. And he's almost through. He has had several warnings, Langenfelder, that Vialle may strike there. In fact, he got past there, didn't he? Early on in the race, and he still opts for that outside line. I wouldn't be surprised if on the pit board next time around it said inside, you know, the waves or something like that, whatever. Something that he would understand. 3 laps to go, because lap times 2:23, and we are a minute and a half to go. So they'll hit the line this time around with plenty of time on the clock, but time would have ran down by the time they reach this point in a lap's time. So 2:24.3 and a 0.1 respectively for Langenfelder Vialle. 8 tenths in it between them. The gap back to 2.9, back to Jago Geertz. Can he hang on? Simon Langenfelder. Again, going defensive. Oh, nice drive through there, but so too Vialle. Looked like Vialle had a couple of stabs in the turn there. Went in and then in again. He is trying hard. Oh, gnarly braking bump that just caught him unawares, Vialle. The clock, and again, Vialle. He has had about 3 moments over that tabletop, just coming in over on the left-hand side. That has given Langenfelder, watch this here, just offline again, look. And then he gets held up. That allows Langenfelder to get away. And then Geertz to close in again. We're going to have a barnstormer of 2 laps. Oh, a little bit too much whiskey there for Vialle. The rear wheel tracked. And then all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, Jago Geertz looking to get around the outside of the number 28. All the while, this is going to play perfectly into the hands of Langenfelder, the race leader. This is just Vialle working overly hard just to keep Langenfelder in his sights. getting on the gas earlier than he needs to. All of a sudden, the thing tracks and sends him off to the left. Watch this. Gets on the gas here, and then off balance, out to the bank. Right, the gap was 8/10 last time around. As we go into the penultimate lap, it's just over a second. So Vialle pulling it back with the fastest sector of the race in the final sector. That's how much he wants this race win. That's how much he wants to stay ahead of Jago Geerts, crucially. Because if he wants to win the GP, he has to find his way just past one rider at the moment. If Geerts finds his way through, then it's two riders going to have to make his way past. And that will not be an easy thing to do. The good thing about this battle for Langenfelder is he doesn't have a 5, 6, 7 second advantage where he's got too much time to think about what's about to happen should he win the Grand Prix. Instead, he's got the Frenchman just charging down, opening doors when there aren't any to be opened, and a mistake there again from Vialle. And Langenfelder completely focused on the job at hand, having to dig extra deep. Deeper than he's ever gone before, no doubt. Cleaner this time for Vialle. Are we going to see again a repeat move from earlier on in the race? Through that left-hand turn as they enter the wave section. He's been kind a couple of times, Vialle, but I don't think he'll be so kind if he gets the opportunity to run him up the bank. Langenfelder again goes wide, and here is Vialle. And he does take the line, but good, quick thinking there from Langenfelder. He had a plan all along. If I leave the door open, I'll let him go, I'll hit the brakes, he'll fly right by. Tom Cruise, eat your heart out. And once again, Vialle now under pressure from Jago Geerts for second place. The Belgian goes to the inside, picks up the front wheel over those 3 or 4 holes, hoping to create a bit more momentum through this bottom corner. We are going to have one final lap showdown between Langenfelder, Vialle and Geerts to decide the outcome of this Grand Prix here. A fantastic opening round at Matterley Basin.
Around this right-hand turn.
Vialle is not letting up.
There goes
1/10 in it on the split. Less than a second as they hit the line, and again Vialle is he face plants the dirt on the way down. That hands second position to Jago Geerts, and a crucial advantage for Langenfelder. He was so fast through that sweeper. So Tom Vialle, he goes down on the final lap. Again, just asking too much. And has that let Langenfelder off the hook? He can afford to not win the race here because of the fact that Jago Geerts was 4th in race 1. But, dude, if you're going to win your first GP, you may as well do it in style, right? Cresting up onto the infield for the final time. Langenfelder has been immaculate all weekend long. His quick thinking to not... Okay, watch this here. This was Vialle. He goes in, gets on the gas. The front came up, and there was only going to be one outcome as soon as that happened. He will be absolutely kicking himself. Has time run out for Jago Geerts to take a race win? Langenfelder's heart must be pounding through his chest. He can't afford to switch off. He needs to go defensive. That's exactly what he does. He makes Geerts go the long way round. But then he's going to be under attack at the bottom of the hill if he's not careful. The last lap in race 1, Geerts went from 5th to 4th with a pass on Rubini. He can't do the same to Langenfelder, surely, for the win. Well, he gets on the gas. Oh, the back end just breaks traction right when he didn't want it to. He's still going to push on, though, but it's going to be Langenfelder into the final turn. And Simon Langenfelder gets on the gas. He hooks another gear. He takes the finish line. He goes 1-1 to win his first Grand Prix in MX2. What a big day for the German. It's been a long wait since Kenny Roczen, the last one in 2011 in MX2, that we've had to wait for another German victory. But Langenfelder on the Red Bull Gas, he makes it happen. It has been the absolute perfect weekend for Langenfelder. Fastest in the qualifying race with the win, and 2 race wins when it mattered. It does not get better than that for Langenfelder. And he had to soak up some pressure as well. He had to do some quick thinking to avoid the pass of Vialle from sticking as well. And that's exactly what he did. Talk about a mature ride. And here is Simon Langenfelder with Lisa.
Simon Langenfelder, massive congratulations. Your first overall MX2 victory. You did it going 1-1. Great job dealing with that pressure in that second race.
Yes, thank you very much. I had a good start again, 3 hole shots this weekend, and then Tom passed me, but a few laps later he made a little mistake. I could use for overtaking him again, and then from there on I was just going as fast as possible, as mistake-free as possible, and then got the win in the end. Super happy with going 1-1 at the first round. And thank you all.
Fantastic job, congratulations.
What a performance from Simon Langenfelder. Red Bull Gas Factory Racing. The Ducati team on the top step of the podium in MX2 once again for the first time since round 5, Loket in the Czech Republic, which is when Guadagnini won his second Grand Prix of the year last year in his rookie season. Langenfelder getting off to the perfect start here at Matterley. Official confirmation then, Langenfelder wins race 2 by just over 2 seconds from Jago Kietz on what has been a perfect day for the German. Tom Vialle comes home 3rd ahead of Roman Mosdijk and Kai de Wolf. Isaac Gifting, Mikkel Hart, Mattia Guadagnini up to 8th. Kevin Horgmo was 9 and Stefan Rubini 10. Andrea Adamo, Gianluca Pachetti, Conrad Muse, Jeremy Sido and Kai Karsmakers ran out the top 15. And then it was Kevin Brumman, Noah Ludwig, Peter Pollock, Jan Panzer and Håkan Fredriksson. The overall Grand Prix and the red plate after round 1 belongs to Langenfelder. 2 wins out of 2. The perfect day for the German. Vialle tried, but has to settle for 2nd with a 2nd and a 3rd. And Kietz on the podium, 3rd overall with a 4th and a 2nd. The 2 Husqvarnas of De Wolf and Van der Mosdijk round out the top 5. And because this is the first round, looks exactly the same as the overall classification that we just saw a moment ago. Manufacturers then, Gas lead the way with 2 wins, courtesy of Simon Langenfelder. Take a look at the foxhole shot, shall we?
Quick call out for Steve Dixon.
And for the 3rd time this weekend in the qualifying race and both races, Simon Langenfelder, but picking up the 2 black plates when it mattered in race 1 and race 2, getting off to the flying start, quite literally, on that Red Bull Gas. Almost ready for the podium, just putting the flags on for the backdrop, just to create that aesthetic look, if you like, and there they go. Anybody say it was windy? Well, this is a gentle breeze compared to what we experienced a week ago, believe me. Just anywhere will do. There we go, drops into place, and we're ready to go, I think. But what a fantastic Grand Prix we had here in the MX2 category.
Okay, we're here at the podium.
Get ready for the podium then, shall we?
Third position at the British GP and MX2 this weekend.
The MXGP of Great Britain here. Third overall, the Monster Energy Yamaha factory MX2 rider, Jago Geerts from Belgium, with a fourth in race 1, a second in race 2. He'll be making his way to the podium any moment now, and here he is, right on cue. A wry smile from the Belgian. He knows he is still within touching distance of where he needs to be, even though it is the first round. Tom Vialle, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Second overall with a second and a third. He was pushing hard for the win. And I'm guessing he probably wasn't expecting the performance of Langenfelder either, like many people. But Simon Langenfelder, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing, what a dream start for that man right there in the background as well. Davide De Carli, his dad, Claudio De Carli, the whole of the Red Bull Gas squad. A successful day at the office at round 1 as they leave here with the championship leaders red plate.
Third place trophy presented by Ollie Payne of Payne's Construction goes to Jago Geerts.
Jago Geerts takes his third place trophy from Payne's Construction, courtesy of Ollie Payne. Second overall, Tom Vialle, Lee Bray from Motion Art. He's got a very trick-looking pickup truck doing the rounds. Has that fella? But Simon Langenfelder takes his first trophy of the season. And it's a winner's trophy here after having the perfect day at Matchley Basin to win the MXGP of Great Britain. Steve Dixon on hand to present the winner's trophy for winning team to David De Carli of Red Bull Gas Factory Racing. And another unreal moment, I'm sure, for Simon Langenfelder. He hasn't just gone 1-1 to win the Grand Prix. He's also taken his first red plate. He leads the MX2 World Championship. Quick photo opportunity. There's your top 3. Simon Langenfelder, Tom Vialle and Jago Geerts. And for the German, the national anthem. First, second, third here at the British Grand Prix, the MXGP of Great Britain. Simon Langenfelder, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing, Tom Vialle, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, and Jago Geerts, Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MX2. We'll talk to those three in just a few moments' time, but before we do, let's just have a quick recap as to what happened in that second MX2 race. Once again, just like he did in race 1 and in the qualifying race, Simon Langenfelder coming away with the Fox hole shot. He was closely followed this time by Tom Vialle, Kevin Horgmo, Jago Geerts, the Husqvarnas of Roman Mostek and Kai de Wolf. Vialle thought he'd made the lead stick early on in the race, as Kai de Wolf up the inside, as he suffered from a bad start, found his way past Isaac Gifting. Then Vialle, making a break for it, fell, picked himself up quickly in second place, just ahead of Horgmo, who then made a mistake on the same lap, allowing Jago Geerts through into third, and that was a break that he needed. Then Horgmo just hit the eject button over the bars. He would eventually come home in 9th position. Vialle, though, was riding his luck on more than one occasion. Mistakes were starting to creep in. He thought he'd made the pass here, but Langenfelder was too smart for it and just blitzed on by to stay in front. And then, asking too much once more, Vialle down again. That allowed Langenfelder to get away. Jago Kietz into second. He had a run on the German towards the finish line, but it was a comfortable win in the end for Langenfelder. 2 seconds on the clock it was. He went 1-1 to take his first Grand Prix win. And hopefully we are just moments away from catching up with our winners.
Simon Langenfelder, massive congratulations. A weekend of firsts for you. First qualifying race win, 2 foxhole shots, double moto victory. You've got the red plate in your hand. It's a dream weekend for you, right?
Yeah, for sure. I would never have dreamed that. That was always my goal to first win at GP, and that's unbelievable to also make 3 race wins, to take 3 whole shots. The riding was so good. The bike was so good. I'm so happy with myself. I'm just looking forward to the next races and to keep that going.
Congratulations. Thanks, Simon. Second overall today, we have Tom Vialle. Tom, steady first race for you, coming home in second. Race 2, you lost the lead, perhaps put yourself under quite a bit of pressure. An impatient ride for you. Just tell us about it.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed with myself, but you know, first moto I wasn't feeling so good on the bike and on the track, so I took it a little bit easy. I finished second, wasn't too bad, and second moto, yeah, I was just feeling good. I had a good start, not all shot, but I was second position. I passed first pretty soon on the race, and I had a small mistake, a small crash, and I pushed till the end to pass Simon to try to win the GP, but yeah, small crash again on the last lap. But anyway, I want to thank all the team for the great work. We are improving each week, and next weekend will be better, guys.
Thanks, Tom. Third overall today, we have Jago Kietz. Jago, a solid weekend. I guess you're kicking yourself a little bit after the mistake in race 1. But third overall for the first weekend, are you happy with that?
Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Made a small mistake in the first heat, so I dropped back a couple places. But yeah, I'm happy with my speed. Was the last two weeks were pretty difficult. I had a small problem with my arm, so I couldn't train for 2 weeks. But my speed is still there, so I just put my head down now and get ready for the next rounds.
Okay.
Third overall then for the Monster Energy Yamaha factory MX2 rider Jago Kietz. Takes the third step of the podium with a 4th and a 2nd. But what a fascinating race 2 we witnessed here at the opening round. Between him, Tom Vialle on the Red Bull KTM, who was pushing hard for the win and therefore the overall Grand Prix victory, but he was denied, had to settle for 2nd and 3rd today. And all eyes after the qualifying race yesterday were on Simon Langenfelder. Could he do it again? Well, it was an emphatic yes. He withstood a lot of pressure from everybody today, especially Vialle, Kietz and those guys. 2 wins out of 2, 50 points, championship lead, his first Grand Prix win, his first race wins, all here coming in England for Simon Langenfelder. As we head to Magdeburg round 2, it's the German who sits on the top of the world by 8 points over Vialle and Kietz. And congratulations to Simon Langenfelder. Right, we're back in 30 seconds for MXGP Race 2. We'll see you then.